So before you watch the video, I want to tell you something. This video is older. Probably like 2 years old. I never got to share it, so I wanted to make sure that I shared it with y'all, okay? So please forgive how it looks. The angles are kind of weird. The lens is not as nice as it is now, you know, the things like that. So forgive how it looks, but the content, I promise you, the content is still there, okay? That's all I wanted to say. All right, y'all. Enjoy the video. She took us to church in about 10 seconds. That little nuance right there was very church. You can tell she grew up singing in church. And it sounds great. It sounds great on her. That run right there, once again, very church, very church. But what she did right there, she said, oh yeah. So she went from one vowel sound on the top of that run, came down to another vowel sound, more of a closed ooh. So, oh yeah. So you can use vowel manipulation and vowel modification to shape your runs, even more so than just doing ah or ooh. You can really do things like she's doing right here to really emphasize certain parts of your run and really give some flair, some texture to your runs, and she's doing a great job at that. That right there was such control. That nice nuance right there that floated ever so nicely down. Oh, and she's taking her time with this. She's pacing it so well and letting us just have just enough each time she's singing before the song starts in. It's just magical. I love it. Oh, I love it. I don't wanna lose you. So let me just observe the audience for a second. You notice almost everybody's on their feet at this point. They probably started standing when she started singing. And there was a girl in the audience at the beginning that threw her hands up at the first note Faith sang. I'm telling you, she does that. Her voice does that to people. Like it just excites you. And I love how she didn't do anything at the beginning just to set the tone for the song. When that song started, you know everybody gonna sing that chorus. Don't even sing nothing yet. Just let them sing. Let them do the work a little bit. Then she'll come with the verse to kind of work that verse a little bit. But I love how she's setting the song, not only vocally, but in her performance and how she's really using the song to her advantage so the audience can enjoy the song as well. I mean, she is just, oh, she's a queen, okay? She's a queen. And what I would say about her voice is not super big and heavy. It's not that big and heavy. And she uses a lot of breathiness and of airiness to her advantage. Sometimes people ask me, how do I get rid of breathy tones? Or how do I get rid of that stuff? Number one, understand that breathiness is not a bad thing. As long as it's not a pathological issue or something you personally don't want for yourself, like don't think you have to get rid of breathiness because it's bad. It's not bad. If it's intentional, it sounds great. If that's how your voice is, let it be that. There's nothing wrong with breathiness and airiness. She has a natural airiness about her voice when she kind of comes off a little bit, gets a little softer. She can get beefy now, but even her beefiness is not super huge, but she does have different layers and different levels to her voice. But don't ever think that breathiness or airiness, whatever the case may be, is bad. As long as it's not a pathological issue, it's not a bad thing. Now, if you want to get rid of it because you don't like it for yourself, that's one thing. That's on you, your artistic choice. But once again, please understand that airiness is not a bad thing. I personally enjoy it. A lot of artists use it to their advantage. I don't see the problem in it. So don't ever think that airiness is bad. That love right there. So she really kind of stays a little more wide the whole time she sings. There's almost like an underlining smile or brightness, a wideness to her mouth when she sings. So that kind of underlining smile is giving her a little bit of a flair to her vocal texture. You know, love. And she's also using her tongue a little bit when she really sings the verse. It's not just love. She said love. So she really used her tongue to go kind of farther back and use that dorsum or the blade of the tongue to kind of come high and really give her voice some texture. I would call that vowel manipulation, or, you know, just tongue use, using the tongue to shape how you want your sound to sound, how you want your sound to be perceived, right? You see that home? Home. So she really leaned into the pronunciation of home instead of home, home. And she really leaned into that M, that nasal consonant right there, and just kind of dug into it a little bit and really shaped that home. And she does that a lot with a lot of her singing. She really kind of does some underlining vowel manipulation, tongue movement, lip movement, jaw movement, and it's very subtle. It may not be as much as some other people, but she does a little bit of that, and just enough of that is giving her that Faith Evans sound that we love so much. So when she did that low home before she came up on that run, you notice her larynx, her laryngeal space went lower a little bit. Oh, and then she kind of came off of it, kind of went up higher here, and kind of got a little brighter and wider in the mouth as she came up higher in her voice. And once again, this is some great control that she has exhibited her entire career, okay? This is a part of what we love about Faith, the lightness and the clarity that is Faith Evans, you know? You hear that? I'm gonna show, got a little squall in there. She is such a soprano. I love the fact that she is just a soprano. Like, she just floats up there, doesn't think twice about it, and she comes right back down. And she gives me a tiny bit of Karen Clark Sheard. She really does, even in appearance. I've always thought they resembled each other. But she gives me like R&B Karen Clark Sheard in many ways. She just can float up there, come back down. She really uses her vocal apparatus, her laryngeal space and everything to really manipulate how she wants to color the sound and how we perceive the sound, you know? It's so good. You see, even her bigger singing is not that heavy. It's not that heavy, but it's still amazing. It's still amazing. She may not be like a huge voice, but even her beefier stuff has a lightness to it, you know? Once again, breathiness, airiness is not bad as long as it's not a pathological issue. If that's how your voice is, let it be. You can still have big moments even with a lighter voice. I don't consider my voice to be that heavy. I may have a heavier voice than some people, but my voice is not as heavy as others. I think I have more like a lighter medium weight to my voice. I don't really think I have a super big, heavy voice, but I make it work, you know? So she makes her voice work, and obviously it has worked all these years and continues to work very well all these years. Squall. Yeah. She's giving you church right here, low key, but it's still R&B. It's still Faith. It's still what we love. She lays it out on the stage every time in this way. She's just a singer. It's amazing. I told y'all she's soprano. She's soprano. I love Faith Evans so much. I hate that the song was so short, but you know, she had like 4 songs to get through. If you want me to do more of this performance in particular, or like more of part 2, part 3 of particular performances, let me know in the comments below, and I'm gonna try to make that happen for you guys, okay? So let me know if you guys want to see like other parts of the same concert or the same medley, if you will, okay? Let me know. And before you go, click subscribe down below to click the alert button next to it so you know when the next video was posted. And as always, be vocally bold, creative, and aware, but most of all, above everything that you do with your voice, be vocally you. All right, y'all, until next time.